is there technique into getting the butt plug in? Like,
I don't think there's a technique. You know, like they're wrapping their hands, wrap up the butt plug. I don't think there's a technique.
Oh, welcome to the Alpha Primos podcast, the show where we talk about anything and everything from touching grass to eating ass. Hey, I'm Juan Solo.
I do those two at the same time sometimes.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I'm JJ.
Yeah, you can eat grass while outside.
I can eat grass while I eat ass. Like she's just got her cheeks. She's got her cheeks buried in the ground.
Are you in the football field? What's going on?
Do you think this breaks like a YouTube record for like getting demonetized within the first like 15 seconds?
Nah.
There's gotta be somebody else that did it. Like
someone else did it and won, right?
Yeah.
As soon as the video plays, fuck. That's just all like, damn it.
It's just a video of some dude's dick, just like
it demonetized and was deleted.
Hey all,
and then penis.
All right, well,
editor.
Right. All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, and yeah, it's been a while. Sorry, life had some updates and got in the way.
Juan got upgraded.
I did.
Juan got upgraded. Life upgraded
I got
him.
hitched.
Yes.
I am now wedded.
The old ball and chain.
I am off the table.
I sleep in a racing car. What do you sleep in?
He's like, I sleep with my wife.
I am no longer available. I am no longer on the market.
Speaking of that meme, I saw one today because we watch. At least I keep up with soccer most of the time. And Argentina won against Colombia. Everybody wanted Colombia to win, but Argentina won, unfortunately. And it was the meme where it's Millhouse's dad. And he's like, I have 3 championships. And then the Homer one, he's like, I have a stable currency. Over in Colombia, he's like, I have a stable currency.
Yeah, that one made me laugh harder than
I was like,
harder than I'd care to admit.
For all our non-Latino viewers, nobody likes Argentina amongst the Latino community. Nobody like Argentina.
No, they harbored
Spain,
Nazis.
Yeah, Argentina and Spain don't nobody like those motherfuckers. Spain hates Mexicans. That's something I found out when I was living in Austin. I came across with Spaniards, and we were talking, and I could hear the lisp, and then they're like,
the parcel tongue.
Yeah, and I was like, well, because they thought I was Hawaiian. They thought I was Hawaiian the whole time, and they thought I was like Polynesian or something. I was like, man, I'm a really small Polynesian. Those motherfuckers, like on average, are like 6'6", 300 pounds of muscle. I'm a tiny ass. I'm a runt. And then he heard me speaking Spanish to somebody. He's like, wow, you speak Spanish and you're from another. I was like, bro, I'm Mexican. Ugh. Like straight, just ugh. I was like, damn, you had to do me like that. Shit. But yeah, God, that's when I found out that like Spaniards hate Mexicans. I was like, dang, bro, what did we do to you?
We freed ourselves. It's the same.
Yeah, that's what.
the same grudge that England holds against the U.S.
Right.
Thought you win a war sometime, motherfuckers.
But all right, we missed out on a lot of stuff while we were gone. So let's try and remedy that by like playing a little bit of catch up with like some stuff that happened while we were away.
Okay.
One of the things that happened while we were gone was Juneteenth. So I figured
it's Maggie's birthday, by the way.
Let's bring back everyone's favorite game now that the date has passed and some news has come out regarding that date. It's time to play everyone's favorite game. Is it racist. Okay, so while on the subject of Juneteenth, picture this: you clock in to work. Yeah, you couldn't get the day off for Juneteenth, but your manager's like, "It's okay. I prepared a very nice lunch for all the staff, so they can come in and eat during their break." And then you go in and you check it out, and all the food served is fried chicken, watermelon, and collard greens.
Oh, that's there's
So
something behind that right there. I'm sorry, but
okay,
that was a
okay.
decision.
Hold, I found.
Hang on now. I have a question. Was the drink option Kool-Aid?
God damn it!
Let
I'm assuming malt liquor would be out of the question because it's still a work
okay.
event.
Hold on. I found the menu. Okay, it said, all right. The menu was fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, potato salad, collard greens, and
Lord.
candied yams.
Ooh,
all right. The candied yams throw me off. Well,
candied yams is a Thanksgiving thing.
I sensed the theme going up until you got to candied yams. I couldn't taste the racism, but I could sense it.
You're overloading now on the racism. I'm sorry. Dude, there's a conscious decision there. Bro, you're racist as fuck, bro. That's just some racist ass shit. Like, I'm gonna eat it. Like, I'm still gonna get a plate, maybe two, but just so you know, I know your game.
Wait.
Who makes collard greens though? Because collard greens are hard if you don't do them.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Like, collard greens are delicious.
It doesn't say they were homemade, so I'm assuming because it was for like a bunch of employees, it was like bought.
Yeah,
like,
it had to be catered.
It had to be like catered.
So
somebody at that catering
my
like, hey,
follow-up questions are: was if Kool-Aid was there, then definitely racist. Someone thought way too hard about it.
Yeah.
You have to the amount of forethought to be this racist. But
yeah.
But my second question is, who catered? Because if it was Popeyes,
no, it can't be Popeyes. But even then, somebody at the catering company be like, "Man, where are we delivering this to? This is too specific. This is way too specific."
Well,
to be like, "Hey, man, we're going to Goldman Sachs."
Well, funny you should mention that. This happened at an IKEA.
IKEA, okay.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh no. Dang.
I should also add this.
Yeah.
This has happened before.
At the same IKEA?
No. This happened at like
bitches have meatballs.
Yeah, you would think do it in house.
I don't have info on the other one because all the links I found linking to the other place that it happened, they're like you have to pay to read the news story, so it doesn't let me. And as far as I could tell from the headline and the little bit you're able to see, like without paying because they put that block pop-up ad, it happened at like a children's museum. But
did they have an interactive cotton picking exhibit? Like,
God damn, bro. God damn.
You just reminded me of that YouTube video, the racist field trip.
Oh, that's just hilarious every time I watch that.
For those of you that haven't seen it, please finish the episode, then go watch it.
Yes.
But just type it on YouTube, most racist field trip, and you'll find it.
Like, I'm sorry, but I think that's slightly racist. I mean, it really is. Like,
slightly,
you put a lot of forethought into this,
right?
But the other question I'm going to ask: if they did that to Mexicans, would we really care? Like, if some dude was just like, I'm
would
going
not.
To, you wouldn't. See, I wouldn't care because it's like you're bringing me all my favorite foods. It's tacos, tortas, and shit like that. I'm gonna be super happy about that. But again, I'm not a black man. I can't even imagine what
it's. One, it's different, and
it's
two,
different. Yeah,
there is a very strong caveat to this,
mm-hmm.
and that is, where are we getting the tacos from?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
if you bring me shit tacos, I'm gonna be pissed.
If I have a white boss and he's like, for Cinco de Mayo, I got us all Taco Bell. You racist bitch.
You racist son of a bitch.
Get me the fucking Cheez-It Crunch Wrap, or don't get me nothing at all from Taco.
But then again, like, also, what food? If you wanted to be like racist towards a white company or like white people, what foods would you bring them? Like casseroles. I would say casseroles, mayo.
Yeah,
maybe like a tuna salad, something with cranberries in it.
Bland chicken.
Oh. Sometimes I see that shit. I'm like, how do y'all eat? How do y'all survive? Like that.
Ooh, Jello with weird shit in it.
Oh, that 70s Jello shit, Jello salads.
Yeah, that's their culture.
Ooh, the bologna. Have you seen the bologna cake?
What?
Ew.
Wait, is it just like bologna layered with mayo, like in between?
Yeah. It's like a redneck crepe cake. Instead of crepes and like cream, it's bologna and mayonnaise. God, that's as long as the bologna is fried, I'd be okay with
I'm reading a little bit more of like the news article just to like add a little bit more context. So, according to some of the workers that they talked to, they said that they didn't ask for like a black employee working at the store to give input on the menu, and they delayed they didn't like they sent out an email saying that this is what they were going to serve, and that's when the backlash happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they delayed it by a day.
Yeah.
And then they served the food, I guess, on June 20 instead of Juneteenth. And then they added to the menu in hopes of trying to, like, calm stuff down.
It.
Like, yeah. But everybody caught on to, like, what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, it's because they only had the one entree, man.
Exactly. And all they added to the menu was...
the candied yams.
It was... They added. It doesn't make what they added doesn't make it better. But I'm gonna read it. They added cornbread, mashed potatoes, and meatloaf.
Meatloaf is a white thing, so
meatloaf I'd let it slide.
White thing.
Yeah, but the cornbread though.
But you open with cornbread, like,
yeah, bro. You always.
That's the first thing, man. How do you not?
I wonder what like the PR nightmare that would have been when they're like, so you mean to tell me that you ordered fried chicken for Juneteenth? We couldn't have just stuck with pizza. You had to order fried chicken. Like,
all right. I have a loaded question here. There really is no right answer, but would it have been more racist? We've already established that they didn't, go to a African American, a black employee to see, hey, bro, this cool? Like, like thoughts, complaints. Would it have been worse if they actually gave like the black employees the day off, and then everyone else got to eat fried chicken and
Ooh.
Oh no! I mean,
it's. I feel like at that point, it would have just.
I don't know.
I think anybody who wasn't black would probably be upset because they're like, I want the day off too.
Yeah.
But, well, it's because IKEA's open, right? Like, it's a retail gig. So, like, not everyone's gonna get the day off. Like, that bitch don't
so
close.
They could just disguise it as, like, well, it just so happened to all the black people.
By luck of the draw, it seems like every black person's off on Thursday, which is, is that Juneteenth? Wow.
But
right.
even then, like if they could have disguised their way of asking the black employee, like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna bring food for everybody tomorrow because it is a. I mean, you didn't have to say it's a holiday. Like, hey, we're gonna buy lunch for everybody tomorrow. What would you like to eat? Like, what do you prefer?
I mean,
They could even throw out the options like, hey,
I mean,
we might just go buy a shitload of burgers and hot dogs, and one of the managers will grill. We're gonna buy pizza. We
see,
can buy this, or we can buy
it,
like buckets of chicken.
I
Whatever.
like doing the grilling thing. Like it's very rare when I've worked at a place that does that. That'll
Yeah,
be like, yeah, we're all just gonna grill outside. Like, come get a
dealerships do
plate.
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Car dealerships do that. We used to get that all the time when I worked at the dealerships. Like when I was a mechanic,
Um, Frank's
all the
Pawn
time.
Shop does that
Yeah,
sometimes. Yeah.
yeah. Like I feel like the grilling would have been better.
The grilling totally would have been better, and then like you can serve all the chicken you want.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but even then, you're not gonna grill chicken just because it's like,
Yeah.
man,
Nah, it's gonna
it's too
be
risky.
hot
It's
dogs
too
and
risky.
burger.
Hot dogs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hamburgers. It may see. I think it might come off as a little cheap. They might be like, man, these
Mm.
cheap ass motherfuckers. Just
Right.
gonna but still, they've been like, well, I feel like I
Mm.
would have rather them been cheap than bring me a bucket of
I want
fucking
to
fried
know.
chicken or something, even though I would have eaten it anyways. Like, I
Yeah,
ain't gonna complain.
I want to know what like their budget was for the catering,
Mm-hmm.
because if it was like enough to where like, hey, instead of doing the catering, let's just give the employees like a gift card for 15
Yeah.
bucks and they can get their own lunch from wherever the fuck they
Yeah.
want. Like,
The dealership, one of the dealerships I used to work at, well, actually the most recent one that I worked at, I was in the accounting side.
mm,
And they would buy us lunch usually once a month because it was always the closing time, which nobody would go to lunch. Everybody would work all day through closing. Even if it was a fucking Sunday, they would come in because they had to close. And they would, at what they started doing when I first got there, like they were buying us lunch, and they were buying us like Saltgrass Steakhouse, and like I worked in Grapevine, and if you know Texas, like the Grapevine area is kind of like it's near South Lake and all that Trophy Club. It's kind of an uppity area,
yeah.
and those like Saltgrass Steakhouse, a bunch of steakhouses and shit around there, and we would just order off the menu. So when the first time when I was there and I came across that, they're like, hey, Pago, we're gonna order here, just order from this place. And I was like, oh, from Saltgrass, like for real? It's like, well, what can I order? Order whatever you want. What's my limit? There is no limit. You just order. You just give us what you want. I'm like, oh, okay. So I
want
first,
the party pack.
oh, it gets better. I just ordered. I was like, fuck it. I'll order just a regular steak. And then I was the runner at the time, so I was the errand boy, and I had to go pick up the lunch. So I went to go pick it up, and then also they told me specifically, do not fucking tip. They're like, don't tip them. I'm like, I feel like that's kind of rude, bro. Like they're packaging everything for me and taking it to the car. This is for like 15 to 20 people.
Yeah.
But whatever, I felt like a douchebag. And it was there was like 8 or 9 bags. I'm like, good Lord, why is there so much? Come to realize that everybody else was ordering an appetizer. They were ordering a big ass fucking steak plus something else plus a goddamn dessert. Our bill was a lot. When I was like, Jesus Christ.
No wonder
So
they said don't tip.
yeah, well, our bill was pretty big. But then like after that, I asked one of the ladies, I was like, is that all for you? She's like, well, yeah, they said we could order whatever we wanted. So everybody would do that. And so the next time they came around, your boy got an appetizer, got a steak, I was like, hell yeah. And then they caught on after a couple of months. I guess they just they didn't catch on, but they were like, we're spending a lot of money on just food for this one day. So then they're like, all right, so we're gonna
that
order
scene
from
the Wolf of
here.
Wall Street, like, nah, the apps, bro. Like the apps,
Bro.
I
Man.
just
Like,
spent 20 grand on lunch.
did the salad cure cancer? Yeah, actually it did cure cancer. But then they came. Then after like the next month, they're just like, okay, so we're gonna order from here, and your limit's $12. And he got real quiet, and I was like, and one of them was like, not to be rude, but you can't even get McDonald's for $12 these days. And they're like, well, they could just kind of like figure it out. And then they just change it to where one of the owners of the dealership, they would just cater lunch from somewhere. They would just cater a bunch of shit all the time.
Yeah, you ain't lying about the $12 McDonald's. Me and Mark went out.
I tried that new garlic sauce, the Jujutsu Kaisen sauce.
Oh,
what'd
you think?
It's high. It's high. Yeah, it's good. Mm-hmm. I would probably, if what about more nuggets? I probably would have just dumped it all in the box and shook it up and pretended like I was eating fucking orange chicken
wings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, but it was still pretty good. It was alright.
No, me and Mark went out Friday night, and we needed a meal to close out the night because it was that kind of night.
Oh yeah.
And he pulled into McDonald's, and I was like, "Look, bro, I don't want to get anything extravagant. Just get me a hot and spicy, get me a McDouble, and get me large fries." Because that used to be, like under $5.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, I was like, "Yeah, we'll get that for like $10-$12." Like,
no sir.
Nah, it was 16 total, I think. So it was $8 each. But I was like, God damn, what the fuck
Not
happened?
even a full meal, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of ridiculous. Anyways, it's still racist. It's racist. That's it. That's where I'm
So we're all agreed.
Like we're all agreed. Sorry, bro. That shit's racist. If you would have served Kool-Aid, somebody should have rioted. Like somebody should have flipped over a fucking table. If I was the employee, I would have been serving myself, and then somebody came up and flipped the table. I would have been mad because I would have been like, I could have gotten a second plate. You could have warned me. Like, let me grab another plate before you destroy all this.
The fact that this happened in an IKEA like makes it funnier to me.
And on that
the fact that this was an IKEA makes it funnier to me because now I don't imagine like real people. I imagine like the little fucking IKEA man that's in the instructions because he's super white.
Yeah.
I imagine he
thought he was doing a good thing. Yeah. He thought he was doing a good thing. It's like, nah. He probably thought because he worked with Mexicans before and he bought them tacos and they didn't ride on me. It was like, well, I like tacos. And food hasn't really been used against us. You know what I mean?
Except for beans. White people taco night.
All right, so on to our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another thing that came up while we were away. The first Neuralink patient.
Ooh, that guy.
So he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. And I guess let's back up a little bit, and we should probably explain what Neuralink is to people who don't know.
It's okay, Juan. You can say my name. What the fuck is Neuralink?
I don't know. Well, I guess it's like so Neuralink is it goes in the brain, right? Like it's an implant, like I guess like a computer chip or something.
It's that Elon Musk implant.
Yeah, and they put it in your brain.
So it doesn't work when it rains?
That was a Cybertruck joke for those that didn't get it. And it's supposed to help out, people with disabilities and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So the first guy that got it, he came out on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he says that it's so good that like it moves before he even thinks about it. And he says that it really helps out with video games. So to all my gamers out there, this dude has a built-in aimbot.
Fucking Warzone is already hard for me, man. I hope I never get put in that man's lobby.
I was about to say that. So that's the motherfucker that took me out in Fortnite Reload.
Yeah,
right. Is what you're telling me.
The one who keeps sniping me.
I do think like if Neuralink like does prove to be successful, and more people do get the implant, I think it would be interesting if they create like their own league in like sports.
The Neuralink?
Sure.
Neuralink. Yeah.
And it's for people with that implant to like compete against each other. And I don't mean that specifically just like in gaming, because yeah, if you have your own their own esports league where it's just people with the implant competing against other people with the implant, it would really be like, you know, it's like it's like hackers versus hackers almost, you know, like who can out cheat, I guess. And or even just like in chess, like how would it work?
Well,
like the butt plug guy who beat the other guy in chess.
That was never confirmed.
I did find out off subject there is apparently a butt plug chess league. You can look that up. It's real.
But is it like
there was like a TikTok that I saw about it, and I was like, oh my god.
Wait,
I think I sent it to you guys.
When you say butt plug chess league, that makes me. My mind immediately goes to like the fighting chess league where like you do a round of boxing and then you play chess.
Yeah, and then you
after
play
you had your like clock cleaned.
Yeah.
Is the butt plug chess league anything like that? Like, do first I have to like. Is there technique into getting the butt plug in? Like,
I don't think there's a technique. You know, like they're wrapping their hands, wrap up the butt plug. I don't think there's a technique to it.
Is it like my beads? Like, what gauge am I using?
Oh, I hear beads and I think, Rip starting a lawnmower.
What I'm asking is, like, you know, round one, you start with like the size 0 butt plug or whatever the sizes are. I don't know what they.
All right, you went way more into it than I thought.
Well, I mean, I feel like you can only go up to a certain size before it just starts affecting the way you sit. You know what I mean?
But at that point, it would be more a hindrance on the person using it than the opponent. You're giving your opponent the advantage.
Yeah.
Or is it, do you start with the round of chess and then whoever like has the advantage can use a smaller butt plug? Like, are we starting with a big one?
And it just scales down.
Just scales down all the way to like no more butt plug. Haha, I've won. Right.
But I don't know. I'm assuming the thing with the butt plug though is that it tells you how to move the chess pieces.
That's what I think is the whole concept behind it. Yeah.
In theory, you would always need to have it inserted.
You would have to, and then it's like, and I think the way it.
Well, hang on. Well, maybe I was thinking about this wrong. Maybe it's not so much the gauges, but it's the vibration intensity.
Yeah, I think that's how it tells you what moves to make.
Well, no. I'm still picturing this like a fight. So, so whoever has the advantage or whoever's losing the chess match now has to deal with a very intense vibration, whereas the dude who's winning does not.
That dude's probably going to bust a nut. It's like, oh!
Well, that's a disqualification, automatic. That's an automatic loss, sir. I'm afraid.
Right. So it's chess and edging at the same time. Not only
weren't we talking about the fucking brain?
Yeah,
this is naturally where it goes to. When you're talking about the brain, it goes to the butt plugs automatically.
What if you combine the Neuralink with the butt plug? Would you be unbeatable?
I feel like you would. You could. The things the aimbot's already aiming.
It's like
for
Lucy. He activated 110% of his brain.
His eyes are just glowing.
Galaxy moon shit.
It's like Limitless and Lucy all at once. I'm 30 moves ahead of you, bro. Oh my god.
Damn it, we're
Neuralink.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would definitely agree that they would have to have their own league. Because it's just too much of an. If it's working as good as that guy says it is, then it's just way too much of an advantage.
Well, it's not just that. It's that, like, it's another piece of tech that you have to calibrate or account for.
Yeah.
It's like how in fighting game tournaments, there's certain, sticks that they don't let you use.
Yeah, like fight sticks.
Yeah, because it's like, well, the game wasn't designed with this type of configuration, this type of hardware in mind, and that lets you input or put inputs, which are how you do like special moves and combos and stuff. It lets you put them in that much faster than with the hardware that the game was designed for. Like, the game compensates for the hardware. So if you're making better hardware or hardware that inputs it instantly, it doesn't then you're just going to be faster than someone. You're just going to, like, if you're skilled enough. I mean, there's still the human element of like practicing the game and knowing how to be good with the character.
Yeah.
But if your controller just fucking works better, then like you're gonna beat the guy. Like, you're gonna beat the next best guy.
Yeah, I think so. So, well, I mean, they're still testing out this stuff, so it's hard to know, like, for certain, like, how far this will go, assuming it even does get rolled out, like, to more and more people.
I feel like it is going to get rolled
just,
out.
like, or if they limit, like, how good it works, because I mean, even he was saying, like, the machine or the device, the Neuralink, was moving before he even thought it. Like, so it was just that far ahead. So,
or
who
like,
knows if, like,
I mean, it could be that. It could be that, but
could be Skynet.
No. Hear me out now. Well, let's not immediately. Remember, this was built by Elon. Like, have you seen the Cybertruck? I think the stupid brain stick just has drift.
Like
the fucking Joy-Cons that I have on my Switch. They just don't work no more.
Or he could have a lazy eye. He's just following the lazy eye.
How do you get drift off of a Neuralink? Like, with the Joy-Con, I have to replace that whole ass stick, or just buy a new Joy-Con.
Flash it.
Does he have to get a new brain chip, or can they just like use the Man in Black thing?
I think that they just have to calibrate it, but you calibrate it the same way you do in the opening tutorial of Halo 1 and 2.
That's
Look
exactly
up. Yes. Look right.
My brain immediately went to Blade Runner 2049, where he's like, repeat the phrase. Cat, goat.
Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. You know who could have used a Neuralink?
Right. All right. Well, speaking of auto aiming, we should probably talk about somebody who didn't have that. Let's talk about the Donald Trump shooting.
That dude has got the hardest picture of 2024, and that man just won the election. That man just won the election. I'm telling you right now, that man just won. I don't think there's anything you can do or say. That man has won. Everybody's gonna rally behind this motherfucker so much harder, and him just fucking fist in the air like, fuck, dude.
I'll grant you that the pick goes hard.
Yeah,
the pick do go hard. The
That's
memes go harder.
Black and whites in a history book right now. I'm telling you right now.
The memes are going even harder, and I have laughed at the memes, but
the memes are hilarious.
You gotta remember, like, people's attention span is short, and like, if this happened the week before the election, I'd be like, well, fuck, he just won.
Yeah.
We're still like a few months out. I'm like, bro, I didn't even remember what happened after January 6th. Like,
yeah.
It was February, and I was like, we still talking about this shit? Like, come on.
The thing that makes me like just go put some doubt in the whole like, oh, he won already, is that, and let's face it, this is getting overshadowed, is that someone did actually die from the shooting.
Yeah.
Obviously
Yes,
it wasn't
unfortunately.
him.
No, it was somebody
And
else.
so I think once that gets like brought up, because a lot of people keep saying like, oh, he took a bullet for the country, he took a bullet for that. It's like, no, he didn't.
No,
The
he
guy that
didn't.
died did.
Yeah.
And that guy that
And
died, from what I read, the first thing he did was throw his family to the ground, and he's the one that covered them. Because if it wasn't for
yeah,
him, it would have been
he literally died protecting his family.
yeah, literally.
And yeah, and it sucks that like, pues yeah, no one's paying any attention to this poor dude.
And the other thing now that, as far as like I'm reading, that they could have prevented this. Apparently, that they already had eyes on him like minutes before he took the shot, and apparently they weren't allowed
we should
to take the
probably
shot.
also be clear, guys. We are recording this on Monday, and the shooting happened this past Saturday. So it's quite literally just a few days old.
Yeah,
There's still information coming out.
Tons.
So just for full disclosure.
Tons of stuff.
We should probably mention, at least I'm speaking for myself here, am a fucking idiot. So like if
I think they got that from the whole butt plug conversation we had minutes ago.
I'm pretty sure they're like, these guys are stupid. Like,
in case it wasn't clear, but like, I mean that I'm not as fully informed on this as like someone who's, you know, like keeping up with the news and keeping up with the current updates would be. I just know that it happened. I know that sadly some person died. I don't even know like the name of the shooter, and I know that that's been out there for since Saturday, I think.
I don't know the name either.
Yeah, just to give an idea of like how like little I actually know. I just know that it happened.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, the fuck? I was at my other job when I saw it. I was like, all I saw was assassination attempt on Trump. I was like, no fucking way. And then of course I started watching just the it was like the quick clip video of it, and then more and more everyday information has been coming out. Still don't know. I don't really know who to believe, to be totally honest. Lots of it now. Now today I saw there's angles from everywhere.
Like, yeah, everyone has their phones.
I'm like,
everyone was recording because it as far as I can tell, like Trump had gotten on stage and was literally only on there for just like 10 minutes before he fired the shots. So yeah, everyone was like phone out, ready and recording because he had literally just taken the stage.
Okay.
So right now, here's what's being reported about him. What's being said. They know his name's on here, but I'd rather not read it to give no attention to that. It says here, as of right now, there's no indication that he had many mental health issues. He is a registered Republican. He is from the Pittsburgh area. They're saying that so far it looks like he did act alone, and that he used an AR-15 style rifle that was purchased by his father, and that he's been a rifle enthusiast since he was a teenager. That he was wearing shirts associated with gun channels from YouTube. Again, I'm not going to name them. He tried out for the varsity rifle team.
Okay, this part I actually knew.
But they said that he didn't make the team because he was just terrible, and then he never bothered to try out after that. And yeah, classmates were saying that no, he was a really bad shot.
Clearly.
Yeah.
They're also saying that it looks like he left behind some explosive materials.
Oh no.
But bomb techs rendered him safe.
Yeah, I mean, that could have just been added for flourish, because like if he made his own bullets, then I mean, you need gunpowder for that.
Yeah.
That's an explosive material.
I feel bad
He
for the
might
YouTuber.
not necessarily have been making bombs, but if he was making bullets, he needs some of those components.
I feel bad for the YouTuber shirt that he was wearing, because that YouTuber is actually based out here in San Antonio or in the San Antonio area. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to name him. I don't want to get him in trouble.
Yeah, I don't want to get him in trouble either. That's dude, like, what? Waking up to that, like, oh yeah, this dude was wearing your shirt. Fuck, like,
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that he's from the San Antonio area, because I was about to be very worried for Kyle from FPS Kyle. So it's like, God damn it, dude, another one.
Stay out of trouble, Kyle. Yeah, it's now. The other thing I've been seeing too is just all the conspiracy theories that now people are coming up with. That's the other thing that's just like, holy shit, dude! It hasn't even been 10 minutes, man. How are y'all this fast?
Yeah, like, it's coming to the point where, like, I'm wondering if little by little it's like, fuck, like, this is something that's just gonna come with the territory of, like, if you are a gun channel and that is what you dedicate, like, you know, your content towards, that are you going to be selective about, like, what type of merch you make and sell? Because right now, let's face it, it's an ongoing crisis in the United States, at least, that there are, you know, mass shootings. It hasn't stopped, and if anything, the number has just kept going up and up and up. And so it's going to get to the point where you got to realize that the people that are out there buying these guns and using them are people that are into guns. So that means they're very likely in your demographic of the content that you make. I'm not saying that you're a bad person for making that content. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's going to come with the territory. Much how, like, someone who makes Minecraft content, and there is a growing number of predators that target children in Minecraft. I'm not saying you're a bad person for creating Minecraft content. I'm just saying that that is your demographic. That is what you're aware of. So when you make merch, you realize these are the people that are buying it, and another thing that are buying it is kids. And so it goes back to, you know, the gun thing, that it's you hit a point where it's going to be like a crossover, and that's just an unfortunate thing. And so I wonder if that's going to put, like, more thought into, maybe I shouldn't make this type of merch, or maybe, like, I shouldn't make merch, or I don't know if there's any thought to it, or do they just not give a shit, right? Because dollars.
I watch a couple of gun YouTubers, a couple of them. Most of them that I watch, at least most of the ones that I watch anywhere, are usually pretty conscious of that. I think that most of them know that these are the kind of dudes that they don't want to associate with them, you know, because they know, hey, they have their beliefs and blah blah blah, but they are usually pretty conscious of when they put their stuff out there. Like, dude, this is not like you. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. They're usually pretty conscious about their stances in certain things, and I think they know. I think, you know, you're right. They have to be worried. They don't think they have to be worried, but I think they are, like, aware of, like, I'm gonna have at least one weirdo or psycho that's part of my channel or likes my content. And yeah, it's like, dude, should I put my merch out there? But I mean, if you're gonna put your merch out there like that, you just have to be like, hey man, I might have to deal with this sooner or later. You know what I mean? Might have to deal with that sooner or later. I remember because there was a YouTuber and he was based somewhere in the Austin area. He was like a country white dude who was very much like, I think he really came out like around like the George Floyd stuff and all that. And a lot of his content was like, you guys are disrespectful to police and this and that, and one of those guys. And then I haven't been able to find it again, but I remember it came across my feed where he got into an accident, or a friend of his got into an accident, and he didn't like the way the police handled things, I guess, from his point of view. And I think he did get a lot of backlash of, like, see, you're doing what you said you're not supposed to be doing, and even after you change your tune and you're doing what you said you're supposed to do, you're still not getting the help that you want. You're still not getting your way. You're still being treated shittily, and you're still standing up for this or that or whatever the fuck. I can't remember the situation. I just remember like I think he even took his channel down, I think he changed his content to like step away from that, because I kind of think this was a couple years ago, so I don't remember, but I think I guess, what's the best term to use? I guess maybe got a taste of his own medicine, I guess, in a way. I guess that would be the best way to put it.
Saw how the other side lives.
Yeah, kind of seeing how the others. Yeah, exactly. Kind
Yeah.
of seeing it from the other side. Like you're in somebody else's shoes now.
Yeah,
Like they're following what they're supposed to be doing, but now that you're in the situation and now that you're experiencing it, it's like fuck.
right. Yeah,
kind
if
of
I
thing.
never had to deal with the police
Yeah.
ever, like it'd be easy for me to be like, nah, just listen to them. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just takes the one experience with the cops, and especially if the cop's an asshole, to
Yeah.
be like,
Mhm.
you know what? Yeah, fuck the police.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I can't. And even though with this, like, so, you know, at least the one thing is, at least, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just reading all the conspiracies, still trying to figure out what's going on or what's going to happen now. You know, like, how is this going to affect things going forward?
Yeah. I mean, we won't know for certain. We don't have a crystal ball to see what's going to happen in the future. And likewise, I mean, there's still pending court cases.
Right.
We'll see if anything happens with those. But I mean, ultimately, just to keep it on I guess on the topic of like the shooting. One thing that me and I talked about this with Jay the other day when I saw him was that the I can't remember the specific scenario that happened, but I believe it was like people from China were upset that Americans were making fun of or poking light at something that happened. I don't remember what. And so in response, like a bunch of Chinese people took to like Twitter and tried making like memes out of 9/11 and showing pictures of like the towers and stuff,
Yeah.
thinking that it would offend, people from the United States. But it didn't. It backfired because
They just
everyone
made
thought
better
it was
memes.
funny.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm like, I don't think other people around the world understand that Americans are in such a like low morale that you kind of just make fun of everything.
Yeah.
Because that kind of helps get through the bullshit. and I was telling Jay that, man, people were so fast to make jokes and stuff, but I think a big reason was because he survived it. I think
Yeah.
if he had died, people maybe would have waited like a day, maybe two, before they started making jokes.
To your
I don't know,
point,
man.
to your point, in all the memes I've seen, they don't mention that like, well, someone did die. It just wasn't Trump.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like all the memes are just like about Trump and the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like that picture is gonna be in a black and white and an American history book.
Oh, bro,
A
that
couple years
like
from now.
within 15 minutes of you sending me like the news article or video or whatever, I went on TikTok and there was already like 3 Chinese dudes selling me this T-shirt.
Yeah.
They were all on live and they were all telling me like I get free shipping if I order
and I
2.
mean, and then that, and I mean, Trump has a history of like taking like stuff like that and selling it as merch. I mean, he sold his own mugshot on T-shirts. Yeah. So,
bro, he went in too early on the NFTs. If he had waited till now,
if he had right,
oh,
he would have been. Yeah, and part of me is also like, man, like I would totally make like Donald Trump merch just to sell it to his fan base because I know they'd buy it and I know they'd pay for it.
Dude, and those fans, the ones about the shoes.
It's like, is it morally correct? I don't give a fuck. It makes me money.
Yeah. I didn't. So I had this idea like during COVID when Q was blowing up. Because I did like look into like, well, how much would it cost me to buy like a simple like screen printing kind of setup, right? Like with 4 things that do like the color or whatever. I would see like YouTube videos of people making one themselves. Like, yeah, I just went to Home Depot, I bought a buttload of lumber and these screens, and now I'm gonna make t-shirts. Like, I thought about it and I was like, you know, Q is just a letter. Like I can I can make a bunch of t-shirts that just have a Q on it. Like maybe put some stars and stripes on that bitch. Like, sell them out of the back of the car. Like just
right. You never know. Someone might bite.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely somebody would buy it. Definitely somebody would get that. Hell yeah.
I was just too lazy.
Right.
People were just so quick with it. That's my thing. It's like, damn, dude. You guys are so fucking fast. Like I can't even fart before y'all motherfuckers already got a goddamn plan already. I'm like, if only I could be that fast.
Once you already have like the setup, right? Like if I already had the screen printer and Q was blowing up, I'd be like, I can draw a big ass Q. Like what
right, and then just slap it on a
here's my Etsy
on a $5 t-shirt.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we've got one of those like sticker maker things at my job. Like we have one of those. It's been sitting in our storage room for I don't know, I think the better half of a year.
Okay, we need to make Alpha Primos fucking stickers is what you're
telling me. Yeah. Funny you should ask. I was looking at it and it's not like the most popular one is Cricut, I think. Cricket, I think is the name of it. Yeah, but we have one called, ours is a silhouette, so it's the same thing, just I think it's a little bit more involved in making the stickers. So I was like, you know what, I wasn't doing anything at work, so and I was stuck in the basement that day, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look up a couple YouTube videos. It's not that hard. It's just I don't have access to our system, so I can't download the programs or anything or install anything. So I had to get our IT guy to come do it for us because he's got all the passwords. But I thought about it. I was like, dude, and it gives you, the whole kit gives you like the startup. Like it tells you how to do it. So I just went online on YouTube and dude, there are so many fucking 5-minute, 10-minute videos on how to make this, how to make that. I'm like, holy shit. This might be something. And then our security guard has one exactly like it at his house because he makes shit he makes car stickers and all kinds of random shit, which I didn't know. And he's like, oh yeah, I could show you how to make that.
He the dude I bought this fucking Luffy sticker from?
Probably. I wouldn't put it past. Probably. He makes all kinds of random shit. He makes like cowboy stickers and all kinds of other random shit. And he came up to me. He's like, hey man, what is that? I was like, oh, it's a little sticker maker thing that we bought for like a year ago, and
I would totally nobody knows how to use it. Once we start making merch, like to make one of these, like the thermal, like cups and stuff, but like with our logo on it. But that would be for future plans. But yes, if we grow big,
one of us needs to learn how to draw.
I would sell one of these.
I really do need to learn how to draw, but
I've been trying to learn. Like I've been,
I told my boss because I told him. We were trying to make something for one of the programs that we have, and I was like, hey man, can you buy me a button maker? He's like, what? He's like, a button maker. He's like, what do you mean a button maker? Like he thought like I meant like a button you could press. I was like, no man, like those little buttons or whatever, like little pins. He's like, oh, why? I was like, dude, do you have any idea how versatile we can make this shit? I saw again, YouTube. Went to YouTube, looked up the best one that I found on Amazon that was like decently priced and it comes with everything that you need. 5 minutes. I was like, dude, I could make us buttons for everything in like 5 minutes. I've been watching these videos on fucking repeat. I can make us all kinds of shit. I even like put the spiel like, dude, we can use it for this, we can use it for that. Shit, we can even tell the other departments, hey, you need a button for something? Fuck yeah, bro. Come over here. I got the buttons for you. I'll make them for you, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right. He's like, well, just give me a quote and I'll see what I can do. I was like, all right, cool, here you go. I already had it. He's like, did you already have this? I was like, yes. Even though I might have said no. I was like, yeah, I was going to try anyways. So here you go. He's like, all right, thanks a lot, Pago.
You said no. I was like, I might buy one.
Shit.
Dude, it's only like
I mean, I like you explaining it. It's like shit. I kind of want to buy one.
Dude,
now.
it's like $90. Like the whole kit, it's like $90.
I didn't think it would be that expensive. I remember in the fucking 90s when Pogs were the shit. Like you could buy the Pog maker, and the button maker. Like it did both.
Yeah, yeah. This one does all kinds of different sizes too, and you know some of the videos I saw. I was like, oh, if you take these old things and you can just make buttons out of them. I was like, that's fucking badass. Hell yeah,
right? That sounds good.
I can do all that shit. That doesn't cost me anything. The fucking cost is awesome.
That'll be future Alpha Primos merch for you guys.
We'll have Bugatti buttons.
Right. Definitely.
When we say your Bugatti's in the mail, we mean it literally. Here you go.
Yes. We'll send you guys Bugattis.
Bugatti buttons.
Q t-shirts for some reason.
Q t-shirts.
And yeah.
Maybe not Q. Let's pick a different letter. What's a better letter?
Yeah, we'll do
P.
Or it could just be like the wolf, like holding up like a Q
holding
or
the Q.
something. Like
no, it could be the wolf in a trench coat with the Q, like as he's opening up the trench coat. There's a Q right there.
It's like Sesame Street. You want
like Sesame Street,
or it could be like he's in the trench coat smoking a cigarette, but the smoke just subtly spells out the Q. It'll be like that scene in The Lion King when he hits and it says SFX. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, it's an F, it's not an E.
Yeah. or his shadow is the Q.
Right. But yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, that'd be
we're getting ideas for potential merch.
One last thing that I gotta say, and it has nothing to do with any of our topics.
That's fine.
It was one that we talked about earlier that's still just fucking Asmon Gold. I don't know how that man does it. I'm sorry. That man looks like he smells.
That'll definitely be a potential Pixel Primos topic. But I guess for the people that did stick around this dog, hey, thanks. But real. Yes,
especially at the butt plug stuff.
Yeah, well, I think that's what people come for. No, if anything, I think they stuck around for that.
Like, get back to butt plugs.
There's like somebody has to go look up butt plug chest. They're like, I gotta pause this.
It's like, but maybe we're giving away too much stuff, and then we're not gonna have anything for our 6 to 9 special.
Well, people can still explain butt plug sizes to me. Like, are they gauges? Are they like shoes?
Yes. And for the record, yes, we when we hit the fun number in subscribers, we will do, a sex themed podcast for you guys with sex topics and stuff. But we'll do a Pixel Primos next time. And we'll talk about all the games that were announced during the summer game fest, all the summer good presentation. We'll get
everything I'm going to spend my money on in the fall,
right? And yeah, we'll save it for that, and then we'll come back with another Alpha Primos with some more hard hitting talk. We have a list, I guess, to share some behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, of topics, and we have that list for whenever there's like a slow news week. We can just go back to one of those. Topics we had in the burner, and that's kind of how we cycle through it. Just some little behind the scenes info for you guys. But with all that said, I think we can wrap things up here. And well, thanks for sticking around with us.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think about butt plug chess and Neuralink tournaments. Or just let us know in the comments what you thought about this episode. Yeah. Tell us everything. The good, the bad, we don't care. We want to hear it.
Yeah. I want to hear everything.
Right. But
and for our yearly special, will you join us in butt plug chess? Gonna stream it live.
We will create that league.
I don't think I'm good at either, so
we won't compete in it, but we will start it.
Can I be like the fifth alternate?
Right.
They actually make it. You're like, fuck.
Well, good. And then it sucks if they were like on a winning streak because it's like, all right, guys, well, I'm taking a dive.
Sorry, guys.
And on that note, we will wrap things up here. We'll catch you all on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.